Hello and welcome to Armoury, Antiques and Militaria and our YouTube channel. We've just got a big collection of Japanese sword books in that we thought we'd share with you because a lot of you need these reference books, and indeed I do. I use reference books all the time. So we thought we'd just take you very quickly through some of the books that have come in so you know they're available in our shop here in Tavistock, Devon. So the first one we've got is 100 Masterpieces from the collection of Dr. Walter A. Compton. A fantastic book and really well illustrated in a slipcover. It's a ginormous book and one that most people would want on their bookshelves because it's a wonderful item. So that's the first book. Second one we've got that's come in, very popular with Shin-sakuto collectors and people that want to know about modern smiths. This is a wonderful reference, covers most of the Gendai smiths that are around nowadays and the Shin-sakuto smiths. Really good reference, that's available in the shop. A book about Japanese mythology by Juliet Piggott, another one that's come in. A copy of the Shinto Benji Oshigata book, a good reference and one that is used by a lot of people to identify signature types and also Nakago styles. We also have a Minato supplement by Malcolm E. Cox, which is a very useful reference book for one of my favourite schools of sword making, the Mino-den school. We also have another book which is Challenge to Masterpieces of the Old Japanese Sword, The Beauty of the Shin-sakuto. Really good reference again, and one that you would enjoy and may be relevant to your studies. We have a copy of the Token Society Token Kantai Dokon, or Dokukon, sorry, by Nakayama Kokan. We've also got the translation and the Japanese edition for this, which I'll show you in a minute. Got a nice book here on Netsuke, which will be a useful reference again for you guys that collect Netsuke. We have George Trotter's book here on Japanese swords and fittings from the Western Australian Museum. Again, most of you may have this on your bookshelf, but well worth having. We also have Kanzan Saito's book, The Japanese Sword, which has just come in with its cover. Another useful reference book for you, perhaps, if you want to study Japanese swords. We have Swords of the Samurai, a great book by Victor Harris. And full of illustrations and koshirai and blades and all sorts of things. Great book for the bookshelf and one that's needed. We also have a book by Henry L. Jolly, which is a book on script and also kanji and kakihan and all sorts of things. Another really useful book. We have In Search of Netsuke and Inro, another book which is useful perhaps to your collecting or your taste in collecting, by George Cohen. Another book on Japanese lacquer, a collector's guide, which is a beautifully illustrated book which is very useful. We have a couple of catalogues here about Japanese works of art. We've got quite a few of those actually, which cover all sorts of things. We have The Craft of the Japanese Sword, a useful reference, again well illustrated, and again a good book to have on your bookshelf to learn about Nihonto. We have Malcolm E. Cox's book here on Minato swords, Japanese swords, swords and swordsmiths of the Mino province, very useful. We have another book here, The Art of Japanese Sword Polishing. Again, a useful book if you want to understand more about polishing and the complexities around polishing. We've got a lot of these catalogues from Robert E. Hayes, which cover fittings, tsuba, all sorts of items, so there's a whole set there. We've got Early Japanese Sword Guards, another book, which is very interesting if you're into tsuba and the like. We have the Connoisseur's Book of Japanese Swords, by Nagayama. So another useful reference and one that you should definitely have on your bookshelf. There's a Japanese version of the larger book I showed you earlier on from the Token Society. Another Japanese book here on Japanese koshirai and fittings. More Robert E. Hayes books on Tsuba. Nice book here, Brief History of Japanese Sword Fittings and Artisans. So lots of illustrations and information about Tsuba. Another edition here, Tsuba, an aesthetic study, which is would be interesting for anyone that collects Tsuba and Japanese sword fittings. A book here about Bushido, the Way of the Warrior, by a guy called John Newman. Obviously that will be well illustrated and probably an interesting read for a lot of you. And I think that's it on the books, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a fair few number of books that have come through. We've got a load of Japanese sword fittings and other items that we're going to be mentioning later on. But we hope that's been useful to you to see what sort of books we've got in stock. And give us a thumbs up. Put some comments down below. If you want any of these books, they're available in our shop down at Armoury, Antiques and Militaria. And you're always welcome. As I say, we've got these on the bookshelves and you can come in whenever you like. Once again, thank you for watching. Bit of a rush to get through all these books, but we've got loads of books here that may be relevant to your study. Thanks, guys.